Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to Hot Comics.
And welcome to Hot Comics. I'm Lisandra Vazquez.
And I'm Brandi Unger.
And today we have a very special guest.
Very special guest.
So funny. Yeah. She was on a Hissy Fit show at, where was it? At Wild Haven Brewery here in Atlanta. Ginny Hogan.
Yeah, we're so excited, and we can just get right to it.
Yeah, get right to it. She's an author. She's a comedian. She is also a female engineer. You'll learn about it. Let's go.
Have fun.
Hi. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
And you have brought us a spicy hot topic today.
It is a popular hot topic. So tell us about this hot topic you have.
So my hot topic is a man named J.D. Vance. It's not a fun one. He is a Republican running for Senate in Ohio.
Great.
The Senate primary is today. By the time this episode is out, we'll know if he's won or lost. But I hate him so much, and my hatred of him is irrational, but in part it's because he wrote this book called Hillbilly Elegy that was it came out around the time of Trump's election, and people called it they called him the reluctant interpreter of Trumpism, because he basically explained the dissatisfaction in the Rust Belt about among working class white Americans, and explain why Trump won. But he was also very anti-Trump, and there were these leaked messages where he called Trump America's Hitler. He's a conservative, yeah,
don't not agree with
he's
that.
Not wrong. Right. No, that's the thing is the book is also even at the time that he wrote the books, my politics didn't line up with his, but the book is very reasonable, and I see what he's saying, and it's kind of one of the first books I think that made me a little more empathetic towards white Americans who voted for the working class white who voted for Trump. And he just does a really good job of explaining it, and it's a really well written book. And then he appears 4 years later being just kidding, I was waiting for more information and Trump has done a great job.
Love that. Yeah. Love that energy.
I love that more information made him change his mind in a positive way.
And he's stuck to that.
Wow.
He's okay.
Wow.
He sucks. I hate him so, but
I'm learning so much. Who knew? I had no idea.
I've really gone down so many JD Vance rabbit holes. It's horrible. I'm just trying to I think I get this fascination with really bad men where I want to find the moment they switch. What was did his body language become different when he just became completely full of shit? But the Ohio primary is actually a pretty fun primary in general. There was a debate where the Republican primary, of course, there was a debate where two of the candidates almost got in a fist fight.
Great. Wow.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then Trump ended up endorsing J.D. Vance, who had called him America's Hitler because A, that doesn't offend Trump that much. And B, Trump likes to see people grovel and apologize. And then C, the other two leading candidates were so ridiculous that Trump watched the debate and was I can't endorse these people who are coming to blows, basically. J.D. Vance gets my endorsement for not getting in a fist fight. But then at a rally recently, Trump mixed up his name twice. He said, so the other guy running against him is Josh Mandel, who was really gunning for Trump's endorsement. And Trump says I'm so proud to have endorsed JP. Wait, is that his name? No, JD. JD Mandel.
Oh, that's just a nice
classic.
God.
Yeah.
That's classic.
What a guy.
It's like the Four Seasons, they just can't win.
Yeah, exactly. They just cannot get facts straight.
Well, speaking of white politicians, so we were talking about Brett Kavanaugh a little bit.
Yes. Brett Kavanaugh, unfortunately, back in the news. So I have a joke about him that's from 2017, but he keeps, sometimes when I write jokes about these people, it's my number one dream is for them to go away forever so that I can't tell my jokes anymore. And then they come back and I have to tell my jokes again.
That's almost like a saint of comedy, right? You're hoping for the best that they disappear. I love that.
Even if it's bad for my personal jokes. You know?
Yeah. You'll take the hit.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
So he's back.
He's back. The Supreme Court is striking down Roe v. Wade. Apparently, Brett Kavanaugh like promised Susan Collins he wasn't going to, which like who I don't even know.
Yeah,
doesn't mean anything. But I have a joke about him 4 years ago, which is like, so Brett Kavanaugh, he when he got accused of sexual assault, he started a campaign to get women he knew to say that he hadn't sexually assaulted him. Like 66 women he's known throughout the course of his life wrote a letter, like signed a letter stating that he never sexually assaulted them. And I just thought that was such a beautiful story of a man not sexually assaulting a woman, you know?
66 pages long.
Yes. Yeah. And and it makes me wonder, like, if more men have these beautiful stories of times they didn't assault a woman, you know? Yeah. I put that question to my Twitter followers one time and everyone just said me, which was, you know, its own thing. But, yeah.
I mean, I wonder if Disney's going to make that next.
Yeah.
I think it's hero.
The hero, the 66.
The 66 women who weren't assaulted. You know? And the one who was, and she's like, you know, she's the like, princess. Or
help me. There's like 66 people that I did not steal their lunch from.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I need 66 of my classmates that I did not steal peanut butter and jelly sandwiches from. Specifically, exactly. I need you to endorse that. And they'll be like, we're just talking. We saw you steal Sally's.
Ted Bundy and the women he didn't murder. You know, like,
the ones who lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, look at all these people.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of pressure in being a woman.
There's a lot of pressure in being a woman, especially I feel like the diet
with our
bodies. So like, and like diet culture is a big conversation right now.
Yes, and I am a dieter. I just like, well, I should say I like to do it, but I go on a lot of different diets all the time. I think it's interesting to like analyze the different ways that I feel bad, and my friends don't like it. Like I had a friend tell me that that in like dieting too much and switching diets, I was like letting the patriarchy win. Yeah, but I was like, I know that, you know, like, I don't know, like,
well, like, I'm like, yeah,
you think I cut out bananas because I thought it was like empowering, you know, or like going to like, like, I don't think it's gonna like close the wage gap to like not eat carbs, like it's just my broken brain, you know?
No, that's 100%.
What diets have you tried?
I've tried the Paleo Diet where you eat food off the ground. That one works. You will eat dirty food, but you'll get food poisoning, and then
that's the trick is the food poisoning.
Instant weight loss.
The keto. Do you guys know that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a diet that I truly believe was invented by someone watching Mean Girls, and when Regina George asked if butter is a carb, they were like, "That's a good diet to try because you can literally just eat butter on keto." Like when I was on keto, I got this like carb-free bread, which is really bad, but if you dunk it in butter, which has no carbs, it like tastes okay. Like I would like fry the bread in butter, and it was like not so bad.
Wait,
and that's keto. That's like, pork rinds are keto. Like once you start thinking about what is keto, it's like
I don't think I know what is keto.
It's like a high fat, zero carb because it gets you into ketosis.
Yeah,
that's like the goal is to get your body into the state of ketosis, which is the fat burning.
I have to say, I always thought that butter was a carb. Because of Mean Girls.
Because of Mean Girls, Well, I think the creator of keto wanted to undo that assumption. I don't think butter is like a health. Like, okay, so
he wanted to destigmatize butter.
It's literally,
good.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's a good platform.
Like keto, you can eat like a million pieces of bacon, like cheeseburgers with no bun, but you can't have like a grape. Like it's like
you can't have a grape.
Yeah, there's like keto restaurants in LA that will send you like a burger that's like stuffed with like cheese, and it's like they give you the fat and calorie count, and it's like 1,200 calories for this, but it's keto.
This was definitely made by a man.
Yeah,
of course. It's like the caveman. This reminds me of the caveman diet just rebranded.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
It's for cavemen. Yeah.
God.
Okay, so keto.
Any other diets?
Yeah.
Any other like the chain diets?
Veganism, I would say, is the most lasting. I'm not strictly vegan, but I was for a while in LA. Not for like environmental reasons or health reasons or anything. I just like fundamentally believe food should be expensive, you know. In LA, like they really leaned into it.
They really do.
But when I was in LA, I met a woman who was a vegan who ate cheese socially. I just thought that was really bold. I was inspired by it.
She ate cheese socially?
Yeah. Like she wasn't addicted. She just
Yeah, she was a social cheese eater.
She didn't want it to like, pin her against
she
all
didn't
her
want to
friends.
she didn't want to be in an awkward situation where she's like pressured into eating cheese.
Yeah.
She just wanted to like be allowed to,
Yeah.
Wow. Eating
Brave.
cheese is a choice.
It is a choice. Yeah.
Wow. Brave.
I've been dieting a long time. I definitely like in high school went on a diet that was like no fat, and that's like stuff that would never be considered healthy today, but it's like Twizzlers and like fat-free yogurt that has like a lot of sugar in it and stuff. I definitely went on diets where I like only ate balance bars, like stuff or like the Nougat bars.
Yeah.
Do you go to the gym at all?
Yeah. I'm big into like Pilates. Well, I shouldn't say big. It takes a lot of mental space for me. I don't do it that much, but I spend a lot of time thinking about it. The kind with like the medieval torture machine. Like they're truly just like they feel like they're stretching your body out. The reformers. My number one like dream in a relationship is to find a man who like looks at me the way that I look at the clock in Pilates. Like it's just. So much longing.
Oh my God, yes.
And also like if I can't see what time it is, I'll like identify someone nearby who like has an Apple Watch, and then I'll spend the whole class like kind of trying to like stretch my head to see the time. But like it does pass the time to be like distracted by waiting for a time. Yeah.
And seeing if it like will light up. Like,
it gets you through that.
So speaking of relationships, are you in a relationship?
I am not in a relationship. I'm in like a casual-ish thing that just ended in a really dramatic way. Not really, but it ended. But it was never that real. So, to be honest, the deciding issue, and this is going to sound crazy, he like refused to follow me on Twitter.
That's a
sacrilege.
Yeah.
It like also like him, he thought it was funny not to follow me, and like it was like he did that as a bit for a little while, and then at some point I was like, this is actually kind of like a mean joke because I'm a comedian, and this joke is like the punchline of the joke is that I'm bad at being a comedian. And but then I was like, okay, well, after I explained to him that it actually hurts my feelings, of course he's gonna follow me. And then he still didn't. And I brought it up like 3 more times, and then it was just over.
How long was this relationship?
It was like on and off for like 6 months. Oh. I'd say it was on, off, on. So it wasn't like constant on. It was like an intense 2 months, off 2 months, another intense 2 months.
Wow.
That is just rude.
It's really mean. It was just like the fact that I told him, and he was like, I just don't have the same relationship to social media as you do. And I was like, I know, because I'm good at social media and you don't really use it. Like,
but also like, what does it cost him?
That's what I said like so many times.
Yeah. Did you explain to him what it made you feel like? You're like, makes me feel like you're not supporting me, right?
Yes. And he also, like, this was the part that really got me, is he would send me memes from Twitter all day. Like, he would send me, like, joke tweets. And I was like, you're on Twitter all the time. You don't tweet, but, like, you're just sending me, like, you're sending me people who are better at their job than me, is like what you're saying.
Wait,
to
does
me.
he know that you're I'm sorry, does he know you're a comic?
Does he know you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was bad, and like
he sucks.
Honestly, it was not good for a number of reasons.
Do you before this guy, because you guys weren't really together, do you consider yourself a serial dater? How's your love life like that?
I'm not a serial dater. I'm usually single. Actually, in between this guy, so this guy was never my boyfriend, and then this is like the longest stretch of whatever felt like serial dating that I've ever had. This guy was never my boyfriend. And then I before that dated a man who came on like very, very strong and was my boyfriend for literally 2 months and then flamed out very fast. But I will say, so the other guy, the one who wouldn't follow me on Twitter, like he because he couldn't express himself, was like very slow to get into relationships. And I just, the whole time I felt like it was like a deer, like when you're like watching a deer and you want to get closer and you're trying not to spook them, you know? And like, he's just like I was just trying not to like come on too strong. And that was like the first 2 months that we dated, of like never like referring to him as my boyfriend, even though we like were hanging out every day, and like you know, just like that kind of thing where you're just like trying not to get too close. But then before that I had a pretty serious boyfriend. We dated for like 10 months. And it was like, that was during like total shutdown. But one of my friends, I was living in LA at the time, and there was this girl, and I wasn't great friends with her, but I was kind of friends with her. She sort of got like, she had this article that got a lot of attention, and there was like a photo of her in it, and I sent it to him, and he was like, he made a comment about her being attractive. And they hadn't met because it was like lockdown, and I'm not even great friends with her, but I also found her like really attractive. And I like at first I kind of reacted like I was like a little bit offended. I was like, okay, and then like slowly over the next like week or so, I was just like, yeah, I mean like. I don't know, like we could have a threesome with her. Like I just kept like kind of like bringing the idea up more and more.
Yeah.
And then at first he was like, this is like a nerdy guy. Like he's like short. It's not his fault. Like he skipped 6th grade. Like so he doesn't have like a chance to get taller. But yeah, he's like
poor guy.
Yeah, he's like he was nice. I only date nice guys because it like makes me feel special when they're only mean to me. It's like our special little thing. But he like, so he definitely was like into the idea. Like he like thought she was hot. And then once I kind of was like, I'm going to text her and like see if she, it was like around, like some people were vaccinated, some people weren't. And I was vaccinated. And I was like, maybe I'll just see if she's vaccinated. And then he like backed out. And I was like, I felt like when a child smokes a cigarette and you make them smoke the whole pack, you know, like I was like, oh, you think she's so hot? Oh yeah, you're gonna have sex with her, okay? That's what you're gonna have to do if you really think she's that hot. I don't know who he's dated since me, but I doubt he ever commented on the appearance of another of his girlfriend's friends because I think that he learned his lesson.
Yeah.
I mean that.
Yeah, I mean you were like, oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Game on.
I love it. Call the bluff. Call their bluff.
But also like good for you.
Hell yeah.
I did want to. I mean, I've never had a threesome and I've wanted to for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't end up with this.
No. And I don't know. I mean, she might have said no, but she was a person who had a lot of threesomes. And the other thing I thought was working for me is that like she and I weren't like great friends. Like I don't know if I'd bring a really close friend into a threesome with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be bad. But like a loose friend I think could be good.
You have to have like a star, you know, like a
featured player.
Right.
Yeah. Pinch hitter.
Yeah. I think that would have been good. Yeah. And she's a little like high profile. So I feel like it would have, honestly, I'm like now angry thinking about this threesome that never happened, you know?
You got to find a meaner guy.
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah.
One that doesn't treat you as.
Yeah.
So you date nice guys, but do you consider yourself like a nice
do
girl?
you consider yourself a nice lady?
Okay, I'm a super nice lady, and because I'm so nice, I have a lot of sex with men, which is like a nice thing to do for them, you know?
God.
Yeah. I do. I consider myself a slut, which does mean that any and all criticism of me technically counts as slut shaming. Like, you know, like if you think I was a slut, you're a slut shamer. I mean, when I first became a slut, my introduction to it was I was living in San Francisco at the time, and there it's just called having like an open source pussy, you know, like anyone is allowed to offer notes. But I don't know. I once slept with 3 men in one weekend, although in my defense, like it was literally a 3-day weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
I
didn't double up nights. I was following instructions, and But I'm not like embarrassed about the number of men I slept with, but I'm obviously embarrassed about like the quality. That's just.
What did your friends think of the guys that you were dating?
They were nice at the time, but I'm sober now, and like now I sleep with fewer people now. I don't sleep with no people, but I sleep with fewer. And they were like, do you ever look back on the guys you used to sleep with when you were drinking and realize that they were losers? And I was like, oh my God, no. I knew it at the time, you know? Like, I was drunk. I wasn't deaf, you know? Like, it's not like I missed. Like, a man asked me why women pee sitting down, and it's like, I'm going to really explain, like, the concept of a penis and not having it. It's just so dumb.
I just didn't even know that was up for debate or question needing to explain.
I actually can pee standing. I perfected it. Well, squatting. I squat really well. I pee in public a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't get any water on anything. The trick is you really have to commit to it. You have to squat, and like you don't want to be like a little bit like, oh, nervous, I'm peeing in public. You have to like push with everything you got, and that's the only way to avoid getting it on your shoes.
That's good. A real strong direct line.
Yeah. Be assertive. Yes.
A strong stream.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Did you end up hooking up with that guy still after he asked you why women pee sitting down?
Yeah, and to be honest, one time he had like 1 million roommates, and they were all obsessed with pee. So like one time I was like hanging out with a group of them, and they admitted that sometimes they got too lazy to flop to pee into the toilet. So they would just flop their dick over the side of the sink and pee into the sink, which like I've never had a penis, but that doesn't even sound easier, you know?
That sounds like a whole separate situation.
It's really,
Yeah, just because
Were they all in tech?
No, these were all comedians. Even
It
worse.
just makes so much more sense. No shade, but shade. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I once got described as a chuckle fucker, which is a term.
Okay,
it's a derogatory
yes.
term.
Yes, we know.
Yeah, it's a hate crime also.
Yes, to sleep with a lot of comedians. And I was like really offended because it just so happened that the only men I met were comedians because I did comedy every night, but I was not seeking them out, you know? I'm just a regular slut. Like, I would never seek out someone because I do stand-up comedy. Like, that's so, I was really offended.
Yeah, you're open source.
Yes,
Again,
open source. Yes, I do not discriminate.
They found you.
They found me. Yeah.
We have got to the part, and you're touring because of your book, and so you get to see a lot of comedians all over the place. And so we're at the part of the podcast where we ask for you to come up with a hottie, which is somebody that you admire that may or may not be younger in comedy years, but it's somebody that you admire on the scene that just is killing it, that you want to shine a spotlight on.
I loved Holly Ballantine's set on
she's the best.
Saturday. What day of the week are we?
Friday.
Friday.
It was on Sunday.
It was on Sunday.
Okay, I was very disoriented.
We're doing great.
I hadn't seen her before. I love her Twitter. And she invited me to Atlanta to do the show.
She said that she followed you on Twitter and you were her favorite on Twitter. Like her and I talked about it. I was like, how did you guys meet? And she's like, Twitter.
Yeah,
I loved her Twitter so much. I loved her set. I hadn't seen her stand up. It was so fun, and it was so cool to like hang out with her. It was my first time meeting her.
She's so funny.
Yeah, she's great, and we love Holly. She's like a known comedian and did like the residency at the Skull here in Atlanta. And she's
runs
a
ton of shows. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, and I think she's been doing stand up like 4 years, so she's not like new, but
but still,
so
we love her.
And she's hot. So
she's hot. She's super hot.
She's a hot comic. Yeah.
So anyway, well, thank you so much for coming down and being here. And
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. All right.
She's I don't feel like we've met a comedian that has done so many things and she's an all-star.
She's done a lot of things, and by her own account.
Also, now that we know, go follow Ginny on both Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, please give her a Twitter follow. Even if you don't follow anybody, just follow Ginny
her
on Twitter.
Yeah, so you can find her at Ginny Hogan _ as well. If you want to go check out where she's touring next, or her book tour.
Her book is out now, and her book is called "I'm More Dateable Than a Plate of Refried Beans and Other Romantic Observations." And this beautiful cover art, and it's just. Go get it. It's so funny. So funny.
Yeah, and find out more at GinnyHoganComedy.com.
I'm like, the art is cute.
And she's adorable. I wish she lived here.
Yeah. We've been trying to recruit her to Atlanta. But such is life. So anyway, and her comic hottie is one of our favorite people, Holly Ballantine. Yeah. And you can find all of her information here, and you might hear more of Holly coming up.
Very soon.
I don't know. I mean, it's a little teaser. Anyway, so thank you so much. I'm Lisandra Vazquez.
And I'm Brandi Unger.
And this has been Hot Comics.
We'll see you next time.
Follow us, rate, subscribe.
Review if you choose.
And if you have feedback, you can give that to us. We're baby podcast. So if you give us 5 stars, high fives. But if you have feedback... send me DM,
Don't send me one.
Send it to me. I can take it. Anyway, bye.
We'll catch you later. Bye.
See you next week.